Welcome to the weekly Freelance Bar podcast, where we help you navigate the ever-changing world of freelancing. I'm Scott, your guide through the wild world of tech news this week.
And I'm Sarah. Think of me as your translator, helping you understand how these headlines translate into opportunities and maybe a few headaches for freelancers, creators, and digital nomads.
We've got a lot to cover today, touching on some big names you definitely know: Google, Bluesky, PayPal, Apple, and Meta.
Let's kick things off with the topic that seems to be everywhere these days, artificial intelligence. Google's really making waves with their Gemini AI going global.
It feels like every time I refresh my feed, there's another AI tool popping up. So what's so special about Google's Gemini? And what's this deep research all about?
Gemini deep research is exciting because it's going multilingual, expanding to over 100 languages. This is huge for freelancers working with international clients or researching topics in different languages. Imagine you're a freelance writer tackling an article about, say, global trends in sustainable fashion. You've got articles in French, reports in Mandarin, blog posts in Portuguese. It's a lot to sift through.
That's definitely a recipe for a tab overload headache. So Gemini Deep Research could actually analyze all of that for me.
Exactly. It can digest those sources, pull out the key trends and insights, and even help you structure your article. Think of it like a super-powered research assistant that never gets tired of reading.
Okay, that's impressive, but hold on. I saw something about Gemini being integrated into the files by Google App too.
You're right. There's also Ask About This PDF, which lets you, ask Gemini questions about the content of your PDFs right there on your screen. It's almost like having ChatGPT embedded in your file manager.
So no more endlessly scrolling through pages trying to find that one specific fact.
Potentially. But there is a catch. This feature is exclusive to Gemini Advanced subscribers. It highlights a growing trend, where the most powerful AI features are tucked away in premium tiers.
It makes sense from a business perspective, but it's something to keep in mind when budgeting for your freelance tools.
Absolutely. And speaking of tools, let's move on to Meta, who are rolling out MovieGen, an AI-powered video editing tool for Instagram.
I saw a sneak peek of this. Outfit changes, background swaps. It's like magic, but with algorithms.
It is pretty slick. Imagine you're a fashion influencer making a video showcasing different looks. With MovieGen, you could swap outfits in a snap without needing a whole wardrobe change or fancy editing software.
That's a game changer for creators on a budget. Do we know when this is launching?
Meta hasn't announced a specific date yet, but they're aiming for sometime in 2024.
Okay, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that one. It's a great example of how AI is becoming more accessible for everyday creators, not just big production houses.
Definitely. And it also raises interesting questions about the future of content creation. How will tools like MovieGen influence trends? Will we see a surge in even more polished and visually dynamic content? It's something to ponder as we move into the new year.
Speaking of new developments, let's shift gears to platform updates. Bluesky, the decentralized social network, has hopped on the trending topics bandwagon.
You're right. They've introduced a feature that shows you what's hot on the platform, similar to what you'd see on Twitter or other social networks.
For freelancers who are trying to stay on top of trends and understand what their target audience is talking about, this could be pretty valuable, right?
It could be. Being aware of trending topics can help you tailor your content, or even jump into conversations that are relevant to your niche. Let's say you're a freelance marketing consultant, and you see a trending topic about a new social media strategy. Participating in that conversation could position you as an expert and potentially attract new clients.
It seems like a double-edged sword, though. Isn't there a risk of getting sucked into the endless scroll and losing precious work time?
That's a valid concern. It's all too easy to get caught up in the noise, thankfully. Bluesky gives you the option to disable the trending topics feature. It's a good reminder that we have the power to curate our online experience and decide what we want to see.
Control over your feed is definitely a win for freelancers, especially those of us who are easily distracted by shiny new things. But speaking of potential distractions, there's been some controversy brewing around PayPal's Honey browser extension.
Ah, yes, the Honey drama. YouTuber Megalag, known for his tech reviews, accused Honey of engaging in some questionable practices, like prioritizing their own offers over the best deals, and potentially even skimming affiliate revenue from other websites.
Wait, how does that work? I use Honey all the time, but I don't really understand the whole affiliate marketing side of things.
It's a bit complex, but essentially, many websites participate in affiliate programs, where they earn a commission for driving traffic or sales to another company. Megalag's argument is that Honey might be manipulating their algorithm to favor offers that generate affiliate revenue for themselves, even if those offers aren't actually the best deal for the user.
So, it's not just about finding coupons anymore. It's about who's getting a cut of the sale. That's a bit unsettling.
It is, and it raises questions about transparency and trust. It's important to note that PayPal has denied these allegations, stating that they adhere to industry standards and that their goal is to help merchants increase sales.
It's a reminder that we should always be critical of the tools we use, even ones that seem helpful on the surface. What do you think about all of this? Has it changed your perspective on honey?
It definitely makes you think twice about the deals you're getting, doesn't it? It's a good reminder to do your research and compare prices from multiple sources before hitting that buy now button.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the convenience of browser extensions. And forget to double check. Speaking of tech that promises convenience, but might have some downsides, let's talk about Apple. There are rumors swirling about a Face ID doorbell, which sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Right. Imagine unlocking your front door with your face, just like you unlock your phone. It's definitely a cool concept, but it raises some eyebrows regarding privacy.
Yeah, the convenience factor is appealing, but I'm not sure I'm comfortable with the camera scanning my face every time I come home. It feels a bit Big Brother-ish.
I hear you. It's a classic example of the trade-off between security and privacy that we're seeing more and more these days. On the one hand, facial recognition technology could offer a level of security that traditional doorbells can't match. Imagine being able to grant access to trusted friends and family members remotely, or even receive alerts if an unknown face is detected at your door.
Those are some compelling arguments for the security side of things. But what about the potential for misuse? What if this data falls into the wrong hands?
That's the big question, isn't it? There's always a risk that facial recognition data could be hacked, leaked, or even used for surveillance purposes. It's something to think about carefully before embracing this technology.
Definitely food for thought. Apple's usually pretty good about privacy, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how they address these concerns if the Face ID doorbell becomes a reality.
Speaking of Apple, let's not forget about Meta's hardware ambitions. They're reportedly giving their Ray-Ban smart glasses a bit of an upgrade.
Oh yeah, those sunglasses that can take pictures and videos? What are they adding? Laser beams.
Not quite laser beams, but they're adding small displays to the lenses. The idea is that you'll be able to see notifications, get directions, and even interact with an AI assistant, all without pulling out your phone.
That's pretty futuristic. But weren't they initially aiming for full mixed reality with those glasses? It seems like a step back to just focus on notifications.
It might seem that way, but it could be a strategic move. By focusing on more practical applications, they might be able to achieve wider adoption and get people comfortable with the idea of wearing smart glasses. Remember, Google Glass had a pretty rough start because it was ahead of its time and raised a lot of privacy concerns.
That's true. It's all about finding that sweet spot between functionality, social acceptance, and, of course, not creeping people out. So, are we saying this is Meta's attempt to sneak mixed reality into our lives, one notification at a time?
Perhaps. It could be a stepping stone towards more immersive wearable tech in the future. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but for now, let's shift our focus to something a little less glamorous, but equally important: the challenges of relying on tech for work.
Uh-oh. This doesn't sound good. What happened? Did someone spill coffee on a server farm?
Not quite. But remember how we were talking about Meta's big push into the metaverse? Well, it seems they hit a bit of a snag with a recent software update for their Quest headset.
Oh no, not the metaverse. I'm picturing people getting stuck in virtual reality, like a digital version of that movie Tron.
Thankfully, it wasn't quite that dramatic, but it was a major headache for some users. The update, which rolled out to the Quest 2, 3, and even the brand new 3S, caused some headsets to become unusable.
Wait, so people couldn't even access their virtual world? That's a nightmare for anyone relying on those headsets for work. Imagine being a 3D designer with a client deadline, and suddenly your main tool is bricked.
Exactly. And the term bricked is quite apt in this situation. It essentially means the device becomes as useful as a brick, unresponsive, and unable to function properly. It's frustrating enough when your phone glitches, but when your entire virtual workspace goes kaput, that's a whole other level of stress.
So what happened? Was it a bug? A virus?
Mm-hmm.
Or something even more sinister?
From what we know, it seems like a software bug was the culprit. While Meta is working on a fix, the initial response wasn't smooth sailing. Some users reportedly faced warranty issues, adding another layer of frustration to an already stressful situation.
It's a good reminder that even with cutting-edge technology, things can and do go wrong. And when your income depends on that tech being reliable, These kinds of disruptions can be a real blow.
It highlights the need for backups, alternative workarounds, and maybe even a healthy dose of skepticism. When a company promises you the metaverse, it's a good reminder that we're still in the early stages of this technology and there are bound to be bumps along the way.
Speaking of potential bumps in the road, let's pivot to a topic that's particularly relevant for freelancers who work with families or recommend apps to clients. There's been a concerning report about child safety on Apple's App Store.
This is a serious issue that deserves our attention. A recent report by child safety groups, Heat Initiative and Parents Together Action, found over 200 apps on the App Store that contained content inappropriate for young children, despite being rated as safe for ages 4 and up.
200 apps. That seems like a huge oversight. What kind of content are we talking about?
We're talking about things that no 4-year-old should be exposed to. Stranger chat features, violent gaming prompts, and even content that promotes unhealthy body image. It's alarming, especially considering these apps have been downloaded over 550 million times.
That's a staggering number.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that so many potentially harmful apps slipped through the cracks. What's being done to address this?
The report urges Apple to take more responsibility for the content on its platform. They're recommending that Apple implements third-party reviewers to verify app age ratings and improve transparency in their rating process.
This is the big deal for freelancers too. If we're recommending apps to clients or families, we need to be extra diligent about checking the content and making sure it aligns with our values.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we have a responsibility to be mindful of the content we endorse and to prioritize the safety of children online. We can't just rely on App Store ratings. We need to do our own research and make informed decisions.
Well said. It seems like there's a recurring theme emerging here, whether we're talking about AI, hardware glitches, or App Store controversies. It's more important than ever for freelancers to be informed, discerning, and proactive about the tech we use and recommend. It's like we need a digital compass to navigate this ever-changing tech landscape and make sure we're not steering our clients or ourselves in the wrong direction.
A digital compass. I like that. And that's a perfect segue into our final thoughts. For this deep dive, we've covered a lot of ground, from the rise of AI to the potential pitfalls of the metaverse and the importance of online safety. So, what does this all mean for you, our listeners? What are the key takeaways as we head into the new year?
For me, it's clear that AI is here to stay, and it's going to have a huge impact on the way we work as freelancers.
I completely agree. We're seeing AI integrated into everything, from research tools and video editing apps to our smartphones and even our sunglasses. It's exciting, but it also raises important questions about the future of work.
Like,
Yeah.
will robots be taking our freelance gigs anytime soon?
That's the million-dollar question. While I don't have a crystal ball, I think it's more likely that AI will augment our work rather than replace us entirely. The key is to embrace these new tools, learn how to use them effectively, and focus on the skills that make us uniquely human: creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving.
So, instead of fearing the robot takeover, we should be thinking about how we can partner with AI to become even more efficient and effective freelancers.
Exactly. It's about adapting and evolving alongside the technology. Remember, the printing press didn't destroy the art of storytelling. It just changed the way stories were shared. AI has the potential to do the same for freelancing.
That's a reassuring thought.
Mm.
But beyond AI, there's also the issue of privacy and data security. With all these connected devices and platforms, it feels like our digital footprints are getting bigger by the day.
You're right. And as freelancers, we need to be extra careful because our online presence is often intertwined with our businesses. It's crucial to be mindful of the data we're sharing, the tools we're using, and the platforms we're engaging on.
It sounds like we need to become more tech-savvy, not just in terms of using the latest gadgets, but also in understanding the implications of those technologies.
Absolutely. We need to be informed consumers, asking critical questions about how our data is being used, what privacy trade-offs we're making, and who's ultimately benefiting from our digital footprint. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the digital age.
And as freelancers, we have a unique opportunity to influence the direction of this tech revolution. We can choose to work with clients and companies that align with our values, advocate for more ethical and sustainable practices, and use our voices to shape a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. So as you navigate the world of freelancing in 2025 and beyond, remember to stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged. The future of work is being written right now, and we all have a part to play in shaping it.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the tech landscape. It's been a whirlwind of information, but hopefully you're feeling more prepared to tackle the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
That's all for this week. Remember to follow us on YouTube, Bluesky and X.com for hourly news updates. Stay connected.